Welcome everybody back to my channel. I know it's been forever, but welcome back. It is FutureGynoGee, your non-traditional pre-med friendly black hottie. Okay. Y'all, it's just been so long. I'm really sorry. Really sorry. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I'm gonna update y'all on my little journey. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna keep y'all, hip to what I'm doing, and I really wasn't keeping y'all hip to what I'm doing. What, it's been like 3 months. It's been a whole 4th of a year since I done talked to y'all, but never mind that. Okay. I've been in this program at Johns Hopkins getting my Master's of Science in Public Health, and it has been an entire 4th of a year because this program is nothing to play with. It is one of the most rigorous programs. I mean, I can't really compare. I didn't go to another grad school, but I just feel like this is probably one of the most, if not the most rigorous program for MSPH that exists in the United States. Let me just say it because, whew, the amount of times I deleted my Instagram, the amount of times I deleted my Snapchat even, the amount of times I deleted literally every piece of social media that I participate in just so that I could focus on school, like, it's been a journey, okay? It's been a journey. Okay, so let's see. Like I said, I made this video in August. I was like, yeah, let me update y'all and let y'all know how this program is going. So basically, there's gonna be 2 parts to this video, but the first part, I just wanna give y'all the rundown, like not getting into any deep stuff. I'll save it for the second video, but I just wanna let y'all know, like, how rigorous the program is, like why is it rigorous? The classes I took first and second term, I'm gonna let you know what our terms are like, because I've noticed with other folks that I talk to, it just doesn't, like, this school really does things differently. So I want to hip y'all to that. For anybody that wants to come to this program, or anybody that's thinking of doing an MSPH, especially doing like the non-traditional route to medicine or to medical school, I think it's worth it so far. And there are a lot of other like pre-meds, a lot of other black women here who are pre-med who decided to take this route instead of a post-bac. So just want to give you a little bit of that, and because I do want to be more consistent. I think I started this YouTube channel with the best of intentions, and it just did not follow through because I had no idea what I really signed up for and what I accepted when I accepted my acceptance letter. I'm saying a whole lot of accept. But when I said yes, I will attend this program in May. So it was me getting acclimated to the situation. Child, I moved to Baltimore from Northern Virginia with my family. Like, girl, so much has happened. So that's what I'm talking about. Anyways, welcome back. And if you haven't done so far, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you like what I'm talking about, if you like what I'm talking about out here, go ahead and like and tell your friends to subscribe too, because I think I said this in one of the first 2 videos, which I only have like other 2 videos on here talking about this, but I really created this space and repurposed this space because I feel like there is a very monolithic view of black folks who pursue medicine, and I think representation is beautiful for Black, Indigenous, and people of color in general in the medical field. We literally represent less than 10%, I believe. I'm gonna look at statistic up and I'm gonna put it for y'all, but we literally don't represent a large percentage of medical professionals or clinicians in general. So I think representation of any positive kind is beautiful, and the respectability politics that exists, and also just the ways in which a lot of people who have the opportunity, because it is expensive to pursue medicine, it is taxing to pursue medicine. If you have a lot of familial struggles, like a lot of family troubles and stuff like that, medicine will be hard for you. And I feel like because I have that, or had that rather, and I've navigated that, because I've had different things in my background, and because I don't quite fit the cookie cutter view of what you normally see on a YouTube or on any social media platform of like what a doctor looks like, or what a black doctor looks like, or what a black person pursuing medicine looks like, talks like, acts like, you know, indulges in their free time, I wanted to make this space because like we are not a monolith, and I just feel like there's no room for that right now. There's not a lot of that. Let me just say that there's not a lot of people really bringing all of them or bringing different aspects of Blackness to the world of like Black pre-med, you know, YouTubing, or Black pre-med, like social media influencing in general. So anyway, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and get to the video. I guess now it's the time for me saying these views are my own, not nobody else's. It has nothing to do with Johns Hopkins. I just happened to go there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm at Johns Hopkins at the Bloomberg School of Public Health. It is the #1 school of public health in the world, and I'm gonna say that every time because I'm geeks. But it is it is the #1 school of public health in the world, or at least in the United States. In the world, I don't know, nobody really does that. But in the United States, and I'm pursuing my Master's of Science in Public Health. And so, you know, you have a focal area or an area of interest. And my focal area, I chose to do women's sexual and reproductive health. There was another focus area because, as y'all know, I want to become an obstetrician gynecologist. So there was another focus area that you could have done that kind of is in alignment with that. And it is like, what is it, like maternal, neonatal, and perinatal health, I believe, but it's along the lines of maternal and neonatal health, right? My vibe. But I decided to go with women's sexual and reproductive health, and from here on out in the video, I'll just be saying sexual and reproductive health. But yeah, I decided to go with that concentration area. One, because they have like certificates that you can get that actually like do maternal and child health, and I just wanted something more expansive, being the type, or you know, understanding the vision that I have for the type of OB-GYN that I want to become. I want to be able to serve all people who are capable of getting pregnant, all people with uteri, you know, no matter what their pregnancy desires may be. And I just felt like focusing solely on like maternal, neonatal, and perinatal health, and just looking at their coursework for that, and then also just you know listening to the he say she say around the campus about like the type of professors and stuff like that. I just felt like I would have more room to like grow in even if the content is not where I would like it to be, so that I can have a more gender expansive view of birthing and reproductive health. I will have room to manipulate and whatnot, and I feel like I get to do that. And then back to the certificates, right? So they recommend you know, full-time students do only 2 certificates, just because the course load is ridiculous, and I'm gonna get to that. But I'm doing 2, hopefully we'll be able to do 3. So my first one, obviously, maternal and child health, and then I'm also doing the LGBTQ health certificate as well. So that was my plan. I had already planned this out, y'all. I know I said this, I think I said this in the first video, but I've been had it planned out how I was gonna do my classes. Like, I've been following Johns Hopkins, specifically following the MSPH program since 2013, 2014. So I basically knew the classes I wanted to take. I knew what certificates I wanted to get, and I knew which area of concentration I wanted to go into. I really am a planner. Like, I have to plan everything. Even if nothing in my plan goes right, I have to plan. Okay, so at Bloomberg, you have 8 terms for your entire 2 years that you are here if you are a full-time student. I'm sorry I don't have more information on part-time students, but you're welcome to go to their website if you want to learn a little bit more and reach out to them. They literally respond. I have never like I have engaged with multiple like master's programs, and this was the most like they are the most responsive. Like they will get back to you. When I tell you I've been talking to them since 2013, I'm talking about staff turnover and everything. I talked to them before I went to Peace Corps in Togo. I talked to them when I came back. I talked to them before I went to Peace Corps in Ethiopia. But what the whole point is, they're very responsive. So reach out. Any questions you have, they will respond. But okay, back to full-time back to full-time students. So you're expected to take, I believe, a minimum of 16 credit hours, and most of us do that, but most of us do way more than that. At least in my cohort and the cohort before me, I can't speak for anybody else. I realized like why people even perceive this school as number one. Like, you know, forget elitism and all of that. Like,
people here are seriously overachievers. Like,
and I think coming from the environments that I have been in the past few years, which are what I'm saying is like not academic environments, I forgot how much of an overachiever I am and how like much I love friendly competition within academia. And I literally mean friendly competition, not like I'm gonna, you know, try to push you out the way. Like, let's get together, let's study, like who can get the better grade, but let's also study together. I love that shit. And I didn't know that until I didn't remember that until I got here. But anyways, we are overachievers. So 16 credit hours is your minimum, but most of us are taking like 19 to the maximum amount of credit hours, which is 22. And some of us, not myself, but some of us are paying extra out of pocket in order to take even more than that. So yeah, 16 credit hours minimum per term. And the way that Bloomberg does this, and I don't know what other schools do, but I've been hearing that they don't do this. Bloomberg, your term, like I said, you have 8 terms. Each term is 2 months long, sweetie. So you're taking 16 credit hours worth of courses every 2 months. Okay, and the first term happens, right? You take your 16 credit hours, you take a midterm after the first month, and you take a final, obviously, at the end of the second month. Second term literally happens the next day, beloved, the next day. So you automatically, you just roll into your next set of courses, and then after second term, you get an entire month off. And I am right now in that entire month off and just loving my life, okay? Then you start back up again after that month off. You have your 2 terms. I mean, your 2 months for the third term. And then I think you have a spring break. I don't really know. I think you have a spring break. I know last year they did not get it due to COVID. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. I really need that. But I think you have a spring break. And then you have your 2 months in the 4th term, and then you have your summer break. They also have winter session during this month off, but even the counselor, the admissions counselor that I spoke to in 2013 told me do not take classes during winter session unless it is an absolute necessity, because you need the break. Sis was right. You need the break. Literally, like second term after midterms, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what is actually happening and why am I doing this? Obviously I never was like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I was just like, damn, like, what did I sign up for? But obviously I made it through, and your girl's still here pushing. But take the break if you decide to come to this program. Do not take any courses unless you absolutely have to take them. Don't do that shit until second year. First year, take that break, because no one is prepared for this amount of work. So, okay, let me tell you what I did for my first 2 terms right quick. Okay, so first term, and I really am grateful to mentors who are like second year students, and also to mentors who are like within the department. Anybody who wants to apply to any program, but especially this program, like I said, they're very responsive. Reach out to people, because they will literally take you under their wing. Most people don't really do that. So when you reach out, they know you're very interested. And then they also have a record of how many times you reached out. Like, obviously it's a paper trail, or not a paper trail, but you know, email trail. They're like, oh, this person is very serious. They have been reaching out, in my case, since 2013. They seem like they're finally ready. Let's talk to them. Let's get them to come. And you know, they're going to do a little LinkedIn and all that good stuff. I mean, it's like a LinkedIn search and all that good stuff. So they're checking you out and making sure you're a good fit. And if they feel you're a good fit, they are literally going to take you under their wing and help you. So first term, I took Statistical Methods in Public Health, 621. So I didn't know this, but there's statistical methods and there's statistical reasoning, and they're both biostatistics courses. But the reasoning is less intricate, like they don't go as in depth into the materials, the concepts, or the methods used, whereas statistical methods, you really learn all the methods that are being used to do like different types of statistical analyses. And it's really it really helps when you want to do like quantitative data analysis. And if you know, like I know, quantitative data is so important when you're trying to like prove things that need to be proved. Unfortunately, like the way that white supremacy in the workplace works, they want to see the numbers, they want to see the impact. And qualitative data, as amazing as I feel like qualitative data is, so just like the words and stuff and different storytelling components, as much as I love that really, in the eyes of the folks who are in power, they really only see that as like a cherry on top, like as an additional help. So that statistical methods, you know, that quantitative data analysis skill set that you build in these courses is imperative, but it's hard as hell. So I was I was not prepared. Like I haven't taken a statistics, or I haven't taken biostats since 2014. And yes, and I haven't taken any math courses since 2014. So it was definitely a steep learning curve for me, but your girl still rocked it. Okay, so that's stats. I feel like I gave y'all way too much information today, but okay, that's stats. Then I took Gender and Health, Foundational Theories and Applications. I took Epidemiologic Inference in Public Health. I took Life Course Perspectives on Health, required course. I took like our public health seminar, which everybody has to take. It's 1 credit. It's just like you work within your you know, interest or area of interest. You have your little groups and you meet with an advisor during that time. And there's also different like seminars on Wednesdays that will be of interest to you that you have to attend during like lunch hour. It's not too bad. And if I can be real with you, the way my course load was set up, term 1 and term 2, I made as many as I could, but I did not make all of them, and I still passed. So just keep that in mind. They're very understanding. Academic and research ethics at Johns Hopkins, and you have to take that. It's no credits, but it's required because this is a heavy research school. Like it's that type of institution. I took Causes and Trends in Morbidity and Mortality. That's a half credit course. I took Essentials of One Health, half credit course. And then I also took Building Collaborations Across Sectors, which is a half credit course as well. So there's a lot of half credit courses, and while we're doing this virtual learning stuff, we're doing hybrid, but I'm doing all virtual basically. The half credit courses, they really last only a month most of the time. So, and they'll put the content up right away. You can take it in a week or less than that. And that's what I learned to do in the first term, because you knock that out and then it literally frees up your time, and you don't forget those little pesky assignments, because it's pass fail for a lot of the half credit courses. But if you forget something, then that's like your whole grade, because it's like set up for you to, as long as you're organized, you will pass. But if you're not organized, you will not pass. The only courses that I took that gave me letter grades, that's what I'm gonna say, Life Course Perspectives on Health, Epidemiologic Inference in Public Health, Gender and Health, as well as Statistical Methods, of course. So that was first term, and I took 17.5 credits. Then this term, I was like, I really want to knock out my courses. I have prereqs that I'm trying to take, and I don't know if I want to take them at Johns Hopkins or if I want to take them at another state school or something like that. So let me just knock out what I can. So this time I took 20.5 credits. Yo, the 20.5 credits almost took me out. Like, there were times, I'm laughing now, but it really is not. funny. There were times when I called my mom and I would just like break down crying because I was just so overwhelmed. So keep that in mind. So going over the courses that were for letter grades, statistical methods, you have to take 3 terms of that in order to meet the program requirements. So I have 1 more term in January. I took issues in the reduction of maternal and neonatal mortality in low-income countries. Oh my gosh, this class, loved this class. After first term, I moved here. Child, they didn't have my room ready, baby girl. Material up, like I'm even going to spend time over break just reviewing some of the materials. The professor, I believe, is the only OB-GYN, let me say that, only OB-GYN on staff. So I just literally ate up everything that she said. Like, that is one of my favorite courses thus far. And it was like really heavy epi based, really worked with a lot of quantitative data, really complementary to the statistical methods course that I'm taking or took. So that was really nice. I also took the epidemiology of LGBTQ health. And as you can see, this term I was able to start taking courses that are really, really like juicy to me. So that helped. I'm sure if I had taken some of the like just crossing off the box type of courses this term, I wouldn't have been as successful as I was. But that's the beauty of grad school. You're taking courses that are really of interest to you. The next course that was for letter grade, maternal and child health legislation and programs. So you see like all these courses. I love what's going on. I also took masculinity, sexual behavior, and health, adolescence and beyond. That course was very interesting. I wanted it to be more like expansive and inclusive. Like it gave me an aspect of masculinity, one that is often portrayed, but it gave me an aspect of masculinity and allowed me to go more in depth in it. And those are all the ones that were for grades. The things I took for pass fail: essentials of environmental health, half credit course, biologic, genetic, and infectious basis of human disease. That was very interesting. Half credit course, pass fail. The next course, globalization and public health, or population health. That was interesting, I guess. And then I didn't mean to say I guess. It was interesting. It's just, yeah, I'll get to it. And then creating, implementing, and monitoring budgets for projects and programs. You know, that was actually useful, like very useful. I'm not someone who's very interested in budgeting. Especially now when it comes to like project budgets. Like you have people who are specifically hired to do that, who enjoy that. But it was really nice to learn different aspects. As somebody who's done like the non-traditional track, and my non-traditional track has been like basically doing everything except for be a doctor, I do enjoy learning the other tasks. So it was nice. Okay, so let's talk about a few of the classes that really stuck out to me over the past 4 months. Well, it's been 4 months. But after like the first month of the second term, I was like, okay, what you gonna do? Midterms are over. You literally barely survived it. And no matter what, the way Johns Hopkins interacts with the Black community is the way it's gonna be. It's the way it has always been. And if you don't do the you're supposed to do here, you're not gonna become a doctor. Point blank. Like it's literally as cut and dry as that. So either you get your together so that the sacrifices that you have made over the past, whatever amount of years, the sacrifices that your family, who, you're living and your dad have made are not in vain, or you leave.